Thokozani, Thokozani, welcome back, Ninjani. Hope everybody is doing well. Please, if you are new to the channel, welcome to our family. Please do hit the subscribe button. It's a black button somewhere on this video or on this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. I love your comments. I interact with everybody who comes on this channel. So please feel free to ask questions, to share, expand on our knowledge. We're all here to grow together. I thought I'd come on today and talk about a video I did last week, which was about healing the mother wound in the season of our set. Now, if you remember, if you haven't watched this video, please go and like this video because I did give a ritual and I'm here to complete the ritual for you. And I come a few days earlier than the full moon, which is on, I think it's Tuesday, April the 23rd. Please check the date, but I do think it's Tuesday, April the 23rd. This is when we welcome the season of Anpu, which I will talk about in a separate video. But more importantly, it is a full moon and we're going to complete our mother wound forgiveness ritual. So basically in the mother wound forgiveness ritual, I said, when I say mother, I am talking about any female figure, any matriarch, in your life that has hurt you so deeply and you continue to find yourself struggling with the pain of whatever it is this person did, didn't do, said, or didn't say, so that you can free yourself during the season of our set. Because one of the things that causing people not to manifest the things they want is because they're holding on to a lot of pain from mother. Right? So a question came up just before I carry on with the ritual, and the question was, Gogo, can I do this ritual if the person has already transitioned or gone, crossed over? We don't use the word die in our spirituality because we know that we do not die. We simply pass out of this physical realm and we become spirit. So the answer is a definite yes. Why is that important? Just because somebody is transitioned doesn't mean that the pain they have caused you has transitioned with them, right? Remember, this is about you strictly. In a funny kind of way, it becomes about the other person if they've passed on, because one of the reasons they may not be able to transition into the ancestral realm and are kind of stuck between the ancestral realm and the physical realm is because of things that they have done while they are on earth. And one of those could be that they hurt you. So in a way, you're giving them grace by forgiving them, and that will allow them to elevate and transition, right? Oh, excuse me. By the way, somebody made a very rude comment in one of my videos. It's probably somebody who knows nothing about initiated healers, and that is that we burp a lot. Now, I used to apologize for my burping until I realized actually that it doesn't serve anyone for me to keep apologizing for who I am. We burp a lot, we yawn a lot, sometimes we make strange sounds. It's simply because of the movement of energies and spirit within us. So there we go. I hope I've explained, because she said, what is that guttural sound you're making? I laughed, actually. I'm never offended, but I realized, number one, it was somebody who was from America or the diaspora somewhere who had no clue. So, yeah, that's a by the by. So, yes, you can do it for the matriarchs in your family who have transitioned. You know, there's a saying that comes through, especially in a lot of our cultures on the continent, which is that you do not speak ill of the dead or things like that. I find comments like that to be very destructive sometimes, because when somebody has hurt you and they transition, you almost feel guilty for feeling bad or for not liking them. And just because somebody is gone, it doesn't mean they didn't cause you the pain that you feel. So allow yourself to feel what you need to feel, but also do remember that we're not here to hold on to pain. We're actually here to release it. Now, the full moon is a time for release and letting go. The full moon is a time for letting go of things that no longer serve us. The full moon is not for manifestation. I see a lot of Westerners who do sometimes mislead people on their blogs by writing and things like, yeah, this is a powerful time for you to set your intentions. We do not set any intentions with the full moon. Why is that? Because remember, the moon being full means that the sun is fully reflected on her. And then she releases all that. So it's a time for letting go. In isiZulu, we say inyanga iyachitha, which basically means the moon is spilling. So if the moon is spilling, meaning that it's full, it's got that light, and then it's going to let it go, why on earth would you want to be manifesting? It's like, it just doesn't make sense, right? On a spiritual level, if you think about it logically. So it is a time for letting go. So for those of you who have written your letters, right? So now you have your letter, it's written, right? You've written everything out onto this letter. You've kept it. I told you keep your letter, right? What you're going to do on the evening of the full moon, now preferably outside, and I will explain why outside is so important. The full moon energy can be felt whether you're indoors or outside. And in some places, especially like over here in the West during the winter, I do some of my rituals indoors because it's snowing or it's freezing outside, right? But whenever you can, do your rituals outside. Even if it's cloudy, that moon energy is there. And if you're one of those magical people, you can actually call to Aset, you can call to the moon. And if you are magical, sometimes the clouds will part just enough for you to see her and witness her and commune, do your ritual. And then as soon as you're done, you know what? The clouds will cover her again. Yes, it is that kind of magical time. So if that happens, try it. Do not be scared. Do not be scared and run into the house before you complete your ritual. There's a very warm energy. I know people like to say the moon is cold. Whatever. It's a maternal energy. So step into that and let yourself be mothered through a ritual, which is actually very hard for a lot of people to do. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. I use a ceramic bowl. This is a ceramic plate, meaning that it doesn't burn. It is not plastic. It's not going to crack. Then what I do is when I do these kind of rituals, I take a lighter and I go outside. And then I locate where she is in the sky and I face her. And I will say, and you can do this, you can say something to the effect of, in the presence of Auset, in the presence of Divine Mother, in the presence and in the loving arms of Divine Mother, I am here now to release you, mom, grandma, auntie. It could be several people, whoever they are. Say their names out, say their names out. And as you say it, you take your lighter, you light this thing, you put it in the plate. The reason we're going to use the plate is you want to make sure that your letter burns to ashes totally. So the whole thing must burn to ashes. If you light it, it burns a little bit, then it goes off. Well, you know what? Light it again and keep lighting it again until it's all burnt to ashes. Then when you are done, right? When you are done, you will take your plate and you will blow those ashes to the wind. It's just ash. It's not going to pollute anything. You blow it to the wind and then you turn around. In fact, you blow it to the wind and you say, it is done. Now, here's the key. You have to mean what you're saying. I've said this before on my Facebook because this is where we do a lot of these rituals we've been doing in the past. Please do not follow through if you are still harboring something in you, because this is not a game. And our set energy, unomkhubulwane, is not to be played with. Remember, you have done this and you have asked her to bear witness to you doing this. It has to be genuine. So then when you do it, you want to make sure that you mean it. If you're not yet ready, save your letter. There's always another full moon coming. But please do not play with these rituals. They are very powerful rituals. And you don't want something to backfire because you thought you were being... Listen, once you say it is done and you're letting go, you then turn around and you walk back into your house and you close the door and it is done. The reason we want to do this outside is because everything about ritualing is intentional. We are doing this outside, meaning to say, if you imagine you have taken this outside of you, you're taking this outside of your living space, right? In the form of a letter. You're burning this outside. You are literally saying, I am done with this. You go into your house and you shut the door. When you walk into your house, you don't turn back. You walk straight in and you close the door. Now, if you feel like having a good old sob, have a good old sob, but make sure you're sobbing because you're relieved that it is done and not because you're still holding on to that pain. If there's any chance that you are not ready to let go, I don't know why you wouldn't be, considering that this thing is really affecting your life negatively. Remember what I said about unforgiveness? It's like drinking poison and expecting that it's going to kill your enemies. So let it go. Let it go, walk in, close your door, and it is finished. All right? That's it. So that's the ritual that you guys will perform Tuesday, the 23rd of April. Tuesday, 23rd of April is the full moon. Please check because it might be Monday. I think Monday is the 22nd. Yes, Tuesday is the 23rd. That is the full moon. And once you're done, you're done. If you like, sometimes what I do is I'll go and take a shower, wash, good measure. Wash that off of me. I usually do mine quite late. Sometimes I do it as the last thing before I go to bed. And then I'll go and I'm done. I'm done. I wake up the next day. I'm not looking back. I'm not thinking about it. It's done. She will assist you in the not forgetting, but in the letting go part. That's why we do it in her presence, because it's a very potent energy for letting go. Very potent energy. And then that's it. You're done. This is one way in which you're taking your power back, family. Unforgiveness can be so debilitating that literally any and everything you try to do in life stalls. Unforgiveness can make you physically ill, because any time that you have bitterness, resentment, anger, hatred, you set up a cascade of stress hormones in your body that actually affect and impact your cells negatively. So, you have a few days. What's today? Saturday. You've got a few days to, for those of you who haven't written your letter, to write your mother letter, your mother letter, forgiveness, letting go. Please watch the video because it kind of gives a little more detail of what you can put in the letter. There's nothing set in stone. You can put in it whatever you want to put in it. You can, the best and most cathartic way to do this is to start off by saying the things that hurt you. Be specific. If there are incidents you remember, write them. You need to get it all out so that you're not constantly going back to it, right? Then once you've done that, right, you can end your letter by just saying, I love you. Wherever it is you are in the world, I love you. You may never know of this ritual I'm doing, unless, of course, she's transitioned, in which case she knows very well what you're doing. But if she's alive and she's off somewhere and maybe you haven't spoken in years, it doesn't matter. You're doing this for you, but you're addressing her because remember, you have to address the person who hurt you. Doesn't matter whether they hear you or not. Do you understand what I'm saying? So then, once you've written it all out, you can end off by saying, I love you. It's unfortunate that you didn't return my love, or that you rejected me, or that you allowed X to happen to me. Whatever it is, put it down, write it all out. It is not an easy process. A lot of people, this is not the first time we've done this kind of ritual, but a lot of people who have done this ritual, it's cathartic, but anything that is cathartic, meaning anything that purifies you and gets pain out of you, hurts, right? It's like when you take a scalpel to a boil and you cut, right? You have to cut that boil in order to get that nasty pus out. It hurts. It hurts. And sometimes you have to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze it out. It hurts. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, the wound heals. But as long as you're holding on to that pus, that just festers and festers. And what happens when you have a boil that continues to fester? You get septicemia. What is septicemia? It poisons your blood, and once it's poisoned your blood, well, it's poisoning your whole system, and you end up in hospital, and sometimes for 6 weeks while they try to clear the blood infection. So it's no different to this. When you keep spiritual wounds, all they do is fester, and all they do is they end up contaminating every aspect of your life. Give yourself a fair opportunity. Do this ritual, do this ritual so you can live your life to the fullest. You are here to have the best human experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you're also here to learn through every experience that you go through. So I hope this has been useful. Please, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I would love to know after you do this ritual, please do comment below and let me know how you got on. And let me know how things are working out. You don't even need to respond immediately after. You may want to, but you might give it a week or two and then come back and just say, how you felt in the few weeks or days after you did the ritual. Remember, we're not going back there. Once we shut that door, it's done with. So I love you all. Take good care of yourselves and see you in my next upload. Masithokozeni.